And I remind everybody in this room, 19 people have died because they didn't have this road.
King Cove is trying to do something about it. People there want to build a road to a nearby airport.
The problem is the 8-mile road would run through a wildlife refuge.
There have been 7 medevacs, 4 of which require the Coast Guard, since Jewel denied the road. Residents say this fight is far from over.
This simple connection road has become almost a legendary controversy. When we think about environmental injustice, boy, this is the poster child for all of them, is King Cove.
It's a good place to be. Being in a village isn't a bad thing. It's not. I love where I live. I love King Cove. I wouldn't live anywhere else. We really do live in one of the most peaceful places on earth. Unless it's blowing 100, then, you got a little. But in most general times, it's very beautiful. It's very peaceful. So from here to Kobe, very short distance. You can fly in less than 12 minutes. You can take a boat that takes 2 hours. But the weather here is so severe sometimes that you can't get out on either. Kobe has 2 of the largest airstrips in Alaska. It is accessible to us if we can get over there. That's where the medevac planes meet us. We have a road that's all the way up into Kinizarov's Lagoon. And we need a very small amount left to get over to Kobe, but it is a road that has to go through some refuge. We want a road so that our kids and our grandkids can be safe. I don't want to have to get up in the morning anymore and worry about the weather. And it's something simple. It's something super simple. Della Trumble, bless her heart, has been advocating for the road for a long time. I swear to goodness she's been doing this since she was 20.
It's been a long process. I mean, we've been doing this for going on close to 40 years now. The idea that we should move someplace else is a horrible thing to be telling to people in this community. We have Aleut village sites that have been carbon dated back over 5,000 years, all the way through Eisenbeck Refuge into Kobe. These lands were made into wilderness. People in King Cove were never consulted. Kinizarov's Lagoon has been for thousands of years where people from Bukowski or King Cove go over and subsist. Didn't even know that that was wilderness boundaries until somebody from U.S. Fish and Wildlife, one of their law enforcement guys came in there and basically told them. And then we burnt down the cabins, the subsistence cabins. And people were like, what in the world is going on? No one knew.
Our grandparents had no idea. They went over to go hunting and their cabins were burned down. And that's how this all came about. And then we've always known that we want a road over to Kobe. It's just the safest spot for our community to get in and out for medical emergencies.
In almost any other part of America, it would be a no-brainer to connect two communities, one that is hampered by the elements, bad weather shutting down your airport about 100 days a year. All they're asking for is limited access so that they can make sure that their families are safe.
But to some people, they see it as, the birds are going to die. I can guarantee we've been here for 4,000 years and so have those birds, and they're not going anywhere. At least not with us around.
I think it's unfortunate that people who have never, ever been out there, who are so quick to say, we have to protect this area because we can't trust the people who live there. It is a paternalistic view And I know that the area is special. It absolutely is. But what I have come to understand is that the people who live there also understand how special that is.
I have an aunt, when you talk about the eelgrass beds in Cove of being such of high importance. Eelgrass basically was used to weave waterproof baskets. She said they'd go to the Eisenbeck Lagoon, and to be put in a position that you don't belong here and you don't need to be here, when, in my opinion, it was ours at one time.
It's literally about a lane and a half of gravel road, and yet none of that was good enough for Secretary Jewell in that decision.
I was very, very lucky. When I went into labor with her, I was premature. And mind you, I'm in the King Cove clinic where you're not getting a cesarean, and I couldn't have babies normal ways. They're scrambling, they're trying to find some way to get me out. The medevac plane couldn't make it in here because it was way too windy. Mind you, I have 2 older daughters, and I have my husband next to me. So I made the choice to make sure that they understood that if something happened, that they should take my life and not my daughter's. Because as a mom, that's what you do. So I signed the consent form to make sure that they understood it wasn't about me anymore. But by some miracle, the U.S. Coast Guard happened to be flying out by Kodiak, and they agreed to come get me. They were here an hour and 15 minutes. I got onto the medevac plane in Kobe, and I was in Anchorage in an hour 20 minutes, and she was born 10 minutes later. By a cesarean section, I was in and she was out. So again, that could have been ugly. Could have been something that I died for, and it would have been another story that they told. This lady died trying to have birth, and people would have said, well, why didn't you leave earlier? I was 34 weeks pregnant. You don't even have to leave here till you're 37 weeks. But I show my daughter, and I tell people that, this is why we're here. It's not just a road. It's something that I think everybody should be able to have, and that's peace of mind. We are fighting, and we'll continue to fight, because I don't want anybody to have to worry at all like I did. And so I will continue to do so.